Welcome back to Dubai Real Estate Philosophy. My name is Ahmed, and today we have a very special project, one that we actually covered earlier in our videos called Damac Seacrest, which is basically on the tip of Maritime City. So today we got some exclusive access on the plot. You guys can see we're standing on the tip. Right after me there's a huge drop that goes down, and this is the entryway into basically the Mina Rashid port that is over here. That is the entrance from Maritime City. And in front of me you can see these interesting, concrete structures. This is basically also the and we'll show you some more B-rolls of basically the Dubai Reef project, which we're going to do a full-fledged video on later on, where Dubai is creating this massive, I believe it's like a 20-kilometer artificial reef that is going to, increase the ecosystem and, the biological, the biodiversity in the ocean. So that's a cool project, which we'll talk about later on. But today it is all about Damac, Chelsea, that is going to be the branded residences that is coming to Maritime City. Now, this project was previously called Seacrest. We actually did a whole video about Seacrest. We went over the floor plans, the details. This is going to be the same building, but now because Damac has done a partnership with basically the Chelsea Football Club, they are going to brand this as Chelsea Residences. There's a football court on the rooftop. There's some, cool amenities. But the most important point is the location and the views. Where obviously you guys can see in the B-roll, these are massive open sea views. Now, a lot of people, and as we always say in YouTube, the two best properties you can buy is either waterfront or you can buy golf facing, because golf is green. Obviously, water is nice and open, but in water there's a lot of creek view apartments. There's a lot of lagoon view apartments, which are both man-made. But this is the best of the best because this is the natural open sea. As far as the eye can see, you're going to see gorgeous waterfront views. And not to mention, in this project there is no unit that is going to be back facing. All the units are going to be full sea facing. So, and some of them are going to have two balconies. You guys can probably see now on the screen where we are standing on the map at the tip of Maritime City, and basically in the middle where there's this small open space, there's going to be a park over there. And of course we have Beyond has their Saria, their O-Rise Tower, their Mural Tower, and this is going to be the best price per square foot on Maritime City. The Mural by Beyond just launched recently. It was anywhere from 3,700 all the way to up to 4,000 dirhams per square foot. Damac is coming in with an entry price point of 2,750. That is pretty solid considering what this project has to offer. So we were here boots on ground just to show you guys the beautiful open views that is over here where we are right now. And this is exactly the plot that they have. You can see it's exactly on the tip. They've already done their branding. You guys can see Damac branded residences, rising soon. Let's rewrite the game with Chelsea branded flags all around. So this is one of the best plots in Dubai Maritime City with gorgeous views, excellent price per square foot. Not to mention the payment plan is pretty solid as well. We have a solid 1% per month payment plan. This project will be handing over in December of 2029. So I'll do one thing. We'll go to the presentation screen and we're going to discuss this Damac Chelsea residences. We'll compare it with the Mural residences that Beyond is obviously coming up with their master plan community. So all these things, that's why we came out, just to show you one more cool point. They are saying that they're going to extend this island and make a beach, which is going to be built by Beyond. Again, the approvals for that is not 100% finalized, but if that is going to be a case, that's just a cherry on top on this already amazing community. In the presentation, we'll also discuss about, why Maritime City is amazing, the connectivity that's going to be coming in Maritime City in the next couple of years. So this is definitely a project you guys do not want to miss. So stay tuned for the presentation. So we've already covered Maritime City a couple of times in our videos. For those of us who have been following us, they've seen this view many times. But for the new people, again, I just had to come out here again. Well, number one, to show you guys the tip of the island, which is where the Chelsea residences are coming up. And again, just to show you guys, this isn't even their first project, right? You guys can see in front of me, you'll see the B-roll as well. Coral Reef by Damac is already underway. You'll see some B-roll of the construction behind this as well. That is the Live project by LMD. That is underway construction. And again, gorgeous views. You can see the yacht standing up. And in front of that, you can see the Mina Rashid, Rashid Yachts and Marina project by Amar. We actually have a gorgeous unit in one of the front buildings. You can see it was, I believe it was called Seagate. And we have an amazing 3-bedroom, full sea view, full marina view unit there that is about to get handed over next year for 6 million. So if anyone wants a ready property, wants to move in fast, you have a gorgeous 3-bedroom, massive unit, you can reach out for that as well. And again, this is just to show you the gorgeous views you guys have. You can see the Burj Khalifa right there. In the future, you'll be able to see the Creek Tower from here all the way as well. And one of the things comparing this to Dubai Islands, a lot of people, they're like, oh, Dubai Islands is, on the red zone by the airport. There's a lot of flights. And that is true. There are a lot of flights. Most of the developers in Dubai Islands have to make very, very thick windows to ensure the noise stays out. But if you still don't want to stay away from that, Maritime City is, again, an amazing option. Again, we got coral reefs over here by Damac. We have Harbor Light that is already under construction. And then we have the latest upcoming one, Chelsea Residences. And this is, again, on its initial stages. We always like to say in our videos that, look, the initial stages of this island is when you want to get in. You want to get in early. And that is one of the cool things about Damac as well, is that that project is going to be handed over in December of 2029. And one of the reasons for that is that if you look at the payment plan, there's no bullet payments. It's just 1% throughout. And the reason Damac, even though they can construct it much earlier, the reason they have chosen to keep it at December of 2029, number one, is the payment plan doesn't need to have any bullet payments. It's 1% throughout. Number two, we're in 2025 right now, 2029, 4 years from now, the end of 2029. This island is going to be something much different. All these construction projects are going to be ready. Beyond is going to have their master plan community ready. And that is when you're going to get the maximum amount of capital appreciation and rental income at that time, because Maritime City is definitely going to be that bustling hub, especially with the road connectivity that's coming up. They're saying by 2030, they want Maritime City travel time by car to Dubai International Airport to be only 10 minutes, which is unprecedented, but they are RTA Dubai and Dubai Land Department, the Department of Planning as well for Dubai. They have already invested over 5 billion dirhams in making that a reality. And they're using big data, AI to come up with the best, most efficient routes, bridges, and all these things that are possible. So connectivity is amazing. Again, all the developers over here are very well financed. They're very well backed. Maritime City going to be one of the last coastal blocks that is available in Dubai. So definitely get in on it, get in that amazing water view so you can make sure and be a part of that capital appreciation and rental income that is up to follow. So I just wanted to show you this again before we dive into the presentation and, discuss a bit about the differences between the mural by Beyond and, of course, Chelsea Residences, the branded residences that is coming up by Damac. Okay, so now as we just saw, we were on the island, the plot in Maritime City, which is basically at the tip of the island. Gorgeous plot, full sea views. Every single unit is going to have a sea view, and you guys can see the render right now. Chelsea Residences by Damac. It's got a gorgeous blue theme to it. Obviously the amenities, all these things are there. Now we're not going to go too in depth into it. This is going to be an investment analysis overview, right? So if we move on, basically talking a bit more about the developer, most of you have probably already heard of Damac, but for those of you who haven't, who are maybe new to the channel, new to Dubai real estate, we'll just talk a bit about the developer, right? So now Damac is the developer, as you guys can see on the screen, is the one that is going to be developing this project. This is a massive private developer, one of the largest in the Gulf region, and they have multiple projects actually around the world. And the founder and chairman is Hussein Sajwani, right? So he is an Emirati billionaire. He's also on the Forbes list, also known with very good relationships with President Donald Trump. They obviously have the golf course in their community, Damac Hills 1, so very famous, very prominent, very wealthy family, very well-funded private developer in Dubai. So we can be rest assured that this is a good developer. They're very well-financed. It's not some new company that's going to be making the project for the first time. They're very, very experienced. They were actually founded in 2002. Now, for those of you who don't know what happened in 2002, 2002 is actually when Dubai real estate became freehold for foreign investment. So as soon as that happened, that announcement was made by the government. Mr. Hussein Sajwani saw the opportunity and he came into the real estate business. So it's been quite a while, 23 years. And these guys have multiple master plan communities already handed over. Damac Hills 1, Damac Hills 2 is already about 80% complete. They have Damac Lagoons coming up, Sun City, Riverside. I mean, the list goes on. So they are definitely very, very experienced when it comes from the development side and very well financed. Now, moving on into this project's overview, again, this is Chelsea by Damac in Maritime City. The location is Maritime City in Port Rashid. You guys just saw the location. The plot is a beautiful plot right at the tip of the island. This is launching this month. The EOI phase has started. Get in touch for more information for how that process works. If you're new into investing in Dubai real estate, and of course, the handover of this project will be Q4 of 2029. For those of you who are saying that is very, very far off, just like we showed in earlier in our video, right now the development on the island is in its initial stages. They have purposefully kept it till 2029 because until that time, a lot of the developments will be ready. A lot of the people will move in. It is going to be a very mature environment because you don't want to move in right now or get the handover while there's still a lot of development going on. It's not ideal if construction is going on around. So it makes it better for us for the payment plan, and it makes it, by the time we actually get the handover, the island is a bit more mature, so we can have maximum amount of capital appreciation. Now, moving on, this is going to be a 2-bedroom investment snapshot. I believe 2 bedrooms are usually the best value because 1 bedrooms, even though obviously the price is lower, if you guys are interested in 1 bedroom, that's something we can do as well. The reason with 2 bedroom is specifically for an investment point of view, you get a bit more of a mature tenant because the thing is, if it's a married couple, they're in a 1 bed, all of a sudden they have some kids, all these things, so they always got to upgrade. 2 bedroom is that sweet spot. 3 bedroom is definitely more if you're into personal use. They're much more expensive. So 2 bedroom is that sweet spot where it's not too expensive as a 3 bed. You're not going to get, bachelors or single, not that financially stable, maybe 1 beds. But either way, we're going to do our case study on a nice mid-range 2 bedroom. So the average price starting is around 3.14. I would say, 3.2 is a decent, maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th floor. A bit on the lower side. We're not going to go too high. Obviously, as you can see, the max price goes all the way up to 4.9. These are the top units, the corner units. But this is going to be an investment analysis, so I always advise the mid-range is the best. Now, you can see the price per square foot is excellent. 2,196 if we go for that 3.2 million range. Now, moving on, this is the payment plan. And we can see it's 60-40, right? Now, 60-40 payment plan. And the key thing about this, because it's being handed over in 2029, basically there are no bullet payments. So usually if you see Damac payment plans, every 9 month, 9th month, 18th month, 27th month, every 9 months, they usually have a bullet payment like 5%, 8%. But the good thing about this is because it's handing over in 2029, we have ample space. It's 1% throughout monthly. This is something that's very doable. It's very flexible. A lot of people like the monthly payment plan. Rather than giving big amounts, you can just give 1% every month. So 60% will be paying during the construction and then 40% on handover. That is obviously mortgageable as well. We're going to dive deep into that as well. Price, again, sticking with our 3.2 million price, deposit is 20%. So that's 640,000. And then 4% is DLD fees. Now, DLD is Dubai Land Department fees. It is a one-time payable tax. In Dubai, any property that you buy, you have to pay 4%. That is it. There's no capital gains. There's no property taxes. There's no rental taxes, no furniture taxes. A lot of these taxes, crazy taxes nowadays in UK and US. We don't have any of that over here. You pay 4% flat rate when you're buying. And that's it. A bit more into it, the 40% installments that we're basically going to be paying. So 24% we will have paid basically as down payment. The 40% installments basically until the handover 2029, that's going to add basically the chunk of the portion that we're going to pay during the installments. That's going to be around 32,000 dirhams monthly. And again, 40% on the handover, which will be around 1.28 million at Q4 2029, which is again mortgageable. We'll get into that later. Now, speaking about the mortgage scenario, we've run some numbers. Obviously, the loan to value for this will be around 40%. We've already paid 60. We want to take out a loan of the 40% amount. Let's say if you're a non-resident, which most of our clientele is, so that's why the interest rate is around 6.5. Now, if you're a resident, you can decrease that almost up to 2%. You can, easily get a mortgage around 4%, 4.5%, 5%, depending on the financial situation. But keeping it at the highest rate possible, I'll show you the numbers on that. So because again, as I mentioned, most of our clientele are international, they're non-residents. You can still get a mortgage. Obviously the interest rate is a bit higher, just like you can see 6.5% per annum. Now, talking about the EMI, that is going to be around 9,543 dirhams per month. Okay, speaking a bit more about the rental income, again, these are the prices for today. If you go on Maritime City today, bayou.com, 155,000, 158, 7,000, roughly you can easily get a two-bed in Maritime City, one of the ready options that they do have. Now, keep in mind that this is today. 4 years from now, the rental is going to be completely different, right? But let's not put that into the calculation. Always, try to be a bit more on the conservative side, because in Dubai, 5 to 10%, the rent increases annually. But keeping it at a nice, easy 5%. And again, this is waterfront property with every unit having waterfront views. So it's definitely going to be higher, but just to say conservative, we're going to keep it at 5%. That's going to be around 160,000 a year. Now, if you obviously short-term lease it, again, being very, very conservative at 6.2%, we're making around 200,000 roughly dirhams per year. Now, these things are, again, we've searched it on bayou.com, propertyfinder.com, propертymonitor.com. They're actually one of our partners at Aeon and Trisl. So we have all this data. You can do your own research as well. We're not going to get, deep dive. Now, moving on, we're going to look at our DCSR. This is something that's very important. This is basically our debt coverage service ratio. So let's say we do mortgage it right now. We want the EMIs to be paid by the rental income, right? So that is basically a ratio banks will want to look at as well, according to the market. Now, if we do it on the long-term lease, it's around 1.4x. Short-term lease is around 1.75x. So that means you're making, 1.4 times more per month than what you owe actually to the bank. So this is your debt coverage service ratio. These are excellent. As long as it's above like 1.2, 1.5%, you're making 1.2, 1.3 times more than when you actually have to pay to the bank. That is something very safe. That is something that's very, very doable, especially for all you investors out there who want to mortgage it out for a decent amount of time and then have the property pay for itself. So these are excellent ratios. Again, this is all standard. You can go online, you can do your own research. We obviously have our mortgage consultants as Pripco. We have all the access to that data. So this is where we're getting the numbers from. So very excellent numbers so far. Now, moving on, we're going to speak a bit more about the return on equity just for the first year. We won't get too deep into every single year. It'll get too complex. But just to keep in mind, how much have we actually paid in the first year, right? So assuming, again, 3.2 million for the property price for the two-bedroom, the down payment we've done is around 20%, 640,000. The DLD we've already paid to Damac, that's around 128,000. The monthly installments that we will be paying in year one, again, that's 32,000. A month and 10 months, it'll be around 320,000. So the total equity for year one, which we will be paying, assuming we book it now, is around 1,088,000. Now, if we want to see the return on equity, again, as I said, conservative growth, we're looking at around 5%. Base case, especially with a property like this, around 7%, and very optimistic, you can easily look at 10% growth as well. Now, what does that even mean? Let's dive deeper into the numbers actually in the presentation. Now, we need to remember for paid year one, how much have we actually paid? 1,088,000. Now, this is a small chart we have made for the conservative, base, and optimistic scenarios. We have 5%, 7%, 10%. These are the capital gains. Again, the price is around 3.2 million. So you can do the math as well. Rental income, again, we've kept it at 160,000. This is not going to be the case. This is the base case right now. Rents increase every year, but just for the sake of simplicity and assuming the rental income, again, is on this conservative basis, you can still see the return on equity based on what you have paid for year one, even on a conservative size, is around 29%. Now, this is excellent return on equity, and this is something that's very, very doable. Again, a waterfront property, tier one developer, Damac, with the payment plan. These are the numbers. You guys can also pause the screen and look at the base case and the optimistic case as well, which gets pretty crazy. Is that doable? Definitely. But again, being investors, you always want to stay on the conservative side. Now, this is some data that we took out from DLD Property Monitor, again, partner of Aeon and Trisl. The Coral Reef and Harbor Lights were Damac's earlier projects, and you can see already how high the price per square foot has already gone. When they announced it was around 2,360. They're already at 2,637. Harbor Lights, 1788, that was their first project. They're already at 2310. So there has been a very respective 12% growth in Coral Reef and 29% growth in Harbor Lights in the price per square foot where we are right now. And again, sold inventory, all inventory has been sold out. As you guys can see, 99.28% of inventory has sold. Now, for those of you who are wondering, the stuff that hasn't been sold out, there's probably some 3 beds available. Again, that is more for residential opportunity. Most investors tend to stay away from those units because they're fairly expensive. So unless you yourself want to live in it, or you want to have it as a vacation home and then, Airbnb it out for the rest of the year, that is a scenario where it's possible as well. Now, looking at all the numbers, final verdict, in my opinion, again, the strong rental years are very strong. The ROI is excellent, it is on point, even on a conservative basis. Again, key things: waterfront community, tier 1 developer, excellent payment plan. We have a good mortgage coverage as well, 1.75% times, I believe, for the short term, and 1.40 for the normal one as well. So if you're looking for a mortgage, being that investor, a type of client that wants the property, the 40% to pay for itself, it is something that is very, very easily doable. So it's very favorable market conditions as well. Again, Chelsea branded residences, this is going to be something, and we didn't talk about that too much, but branded residences always have a much better return. It's something obviously that's unique. They're going to have football pitches, all these kind of amenities. So the favorable market conditions, it's a branded residences, waterfront residences, tier 1 developer, all units going to be seafracing. There really is nothing that stands. And the only question people do come up with is, is the price sustainable? All these things. Look, we have to understand, if you look at Mar beachfront, you look at Dubai Harbor, you look at Blue Waters Island, these guys are already at 3,500 to 4,000 dirhams per square foot. So this is definitely an entry point that is not bad at all. It is an excellent entry point depending on the price per square foot. And Maritime City is only, again, it's that limited availability. Dubai Islands is definitely there. People talk about Dubai Islands all the time. That is going to be an excellent community as well, but it's not a community. That the thing is, there's all individual developments. Maritime City is going to be mainly a community, mainly for Beyond, again, by Omniat. But again, Damac being a developer, they're not just coming with one building. It's going to be 3-4 towers. They're all going to be having amenities, all these things. It's going to be a very happening place. So no doubt it is going to be an excellent investment. So this was it. I hope we tried to cover basically everything in my videos. From now on, we'll try to include this investment analysis into most of our videos as well. So you guys, a lot of the people, because we had a lot of people reaching out, they really wanted to get deep into the numbers. So we took inspiration from them. We'll try to include these in our videos as well for all the guys who really want to know the numbers. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.